Hey guys, what's good? I'm Andre and today I want to look at a quick trade review with you guys. I want to make sure that we clarify a couple of things for any Patreons that might be taking some of our signals, as well as you guys that might be looking at our Twitter feed and just feed off of those ideas. Secondary, I want to take a look at what Bitcoin is doing, and then finally I want to make sure that we do a bit of trade reviews with regards to what went well this week, just so you guys know what we're up to in our Patreon community. Now I'm gonna get started with the trade review, guys. This was on Chevron, and on Chevron I actually sent out this trade a week ago roughly. It was this exact trade, and you know what happened was that a couple of days later one of our patrons reached out to me saying that they took this trade with the entry over at 152.5, the stop where we had placed it, and then the take profit where we had placed it as well. But obviously this doesn't give you a good enough risk reward, guys, and I just want to clarify, we all pick dogs sometimes. We all pick rotten apples that never pan out the way we intended them to. And with trading, it's really important to understand that unless you take really consistent 1 to 2 or 1 to 3 risk reward ratios every single time, and then just work on your winning percentile and make sure that you take more winners than losers, you're never gonna be successful enough. And taking 1-to-1 risk reward ratio trades just isn't worth it, and you're gonna struggle being successful because that requires you to pick the right type of setup too many times in order for you to actually be able to make money. Now CVX in this instance shows us the same exact entry once more. It's potentially gonna be retesting the upper trend line here today, and I think that this trade is still very valid. We're gonna look at Oxy in a second here, which offers a very similar trade setup. Now the caveat here is the fact that WTI and nat gas have both been ripping upwards throughout the last week, and potentially they're gonna do it into next week as well. So don't bet your houses on this. However, I'm long WTI, so these for me act as really good occasions to hedge against my WTI position. Now what I recommend here doing is just a 1 to 4.5 risk to reward ratio trade. We're gonna enter at 58.70, we're gonna stop at 59.36, and we're gonna have our profit target at roughly 56.09. So this is a valid setup, guys, because it offers us such a good risk to reward ratio that if we take 5 similar trades and just get a single one right, we are still gonna be making money. And this is the type of setups that you want to look for when you're taking trades. Now moving from here, guys, I want to take a quick look at Bitcoin, because I've been asked by a couple of you guys whether or not we should be taking Bitcoin short from here, and I'm not feeling it. You know, Bitcoin might be retracing back in here into this trend line, which is very valid, but if you check out the volume that these couple of candles had over here, this was a very valid breakout of this trend line that was confirmed by volume. So I don't want to go against this momentum. I think the momentum is to the upside here. I don't particularly like how this pole with pennant is forming here. I think that it could have looked a little bit better. That being said, I still think that we have upside potential here to roughly 34.5, give or take, because at 34.5 we're gonna meet up against these previous lows in here. I think this is gonna be a pretty interesting moment to be longing Bitcoin. I'm not in a long, not in a short. I am waiting, however, for a break above from here on volume again, and I'm probably gonna play the breakout. Now moving on to a couple of other trades here, guys. So first off, I wanted to tell you that throughout this week we absolutely killed it on Patreon. I'm not gonna speak about the options because we took a couple of different positions through options and made an absolute killing, but I understand that options are not available to everybody. We do have a course coming up, FYI, but just take a look at this WTI trade. We sent out a signal when WTI was at 67.65, and obviously it rallied all the way up to 70 earlier today. That's a 5% increase on a futures that's particularly hard to play. It gave us a really good profit to bank, and I still think that we have upwards potential to 72 and potentially even to 75 or 74 and a half here. I'm still long WTI, as I was telling you a bit earlier. Now, the other couple of really big wins that we took this week were, first off, on USD Swiss franc. We sent out a signal when this one was at 0.891, and it's now sitting at 0.90. I think upwards potential here to 0.91, and then even as high as 0.94, but obviously this is a bit optimistic. It's gonna take a lot of time to get there and to make sure that we make progress, taking us so far up. Now, the second one that I wanted to show you, and the last one at the same time, was USD ZAR, that we had signaled out on a viable retest of this trend line at 18.13. Now we are at 19.02, and I think that upwards trajectory here is 19.55. Potentially even retesting previous highs at 1981, potentially even making all-time highs above $20. Now, this is why it's really important to look at our Patreon, guys. First off, we post free content as well, so just check it out. Now, secondly, $15 a month buys you most of, or some of the trades, sorry, and then $50 a month buys you most of our trades. So definitely worth checking out. I think that you're gonna see a lot of value for the money, and you can cancel anytime, so why not do it? Stop missing out on trades like these, because trades like this could really turn around your trading career and potentially make you or get you to that zone where you can do this for a living, instead of kind of having to always take a couple of steps forward and 3 steps back. And this is the same that we are hearing from a lot of our patrons, so feel free to reach out to us. More than happy to help provide some guidance, and hopefully we can help transform your trading career. Thanks so much for tuning in today, guys. Thanks for all the likes. Subscribe if you enjoy the content. I'm gonna catch you next time. Take care.